My beautiful butterfly is frozen in time, forever 6. And a part of me is still frozen with him. And sometimes I am still at December 14th, 2012. We're a family with a hole inside of us that can never be filled. But sadly, we never had to become that, because what happened at Sandy Hook was preventable.
Trauma is weaving its way out of homes and streets and into classrooms, where schools are becoming places where mental health care needs to be incorporated into the curriculum in order to make sure that the kids have an opportunity to successfully learn.
When Rachel called and asked me what was I going to do to protect her children and my grandchildren, I said, anything but I can.
We at Sandy Hook Promise decided to step back and study this failure. We saw a never-ending, polarized argument between two extreme views, gun control and gun freedom. We saw masses of people in the middle who were not engaged. We studied other polarized or divisive issues in America's history, everything from marriage equality back to civil rights. And we tried to figure out what are the levers that they pulled to help move forward. And we saw that the way that people were trying to tackle the issue of gun violence was contrary to the way social change has always been achieved in our country. Too much focus on just policy and politics, not enough focus on grassroots organizing and voice, education, and programs to change attitudes and behaviors.
Because they know and we don't. We have had multiple occasions to investigate potential threats. We get about 14, 15 a year where they say, don't come to school tomorrow. Out of a 14 or 15 a year, we have had 3 that I consider to be stopped in place attacks.
Reaching out to people who are chronically socially isolated, learning to recognize the signs of suicide. Understanding what threats are and not just deal with the threat itself, but really dig deep and find out what's going on in a child's life. And what interventions can we make before the situation escalates. He lived pretty much across the street from the house we were renting. I often think, what could I have done? Did I miss something? Was there something I could have done to prevent this? But I also think about, having read everything that I can about him from the police reports and speaking to the FBI, knowing that there were signs and signals he gave off throughout his life that were either misunderstood or ignored or denied. I know that what he did was preventable. And that's something I have to live with every day. That is the attitude that's getting us into the problem that we have at the moment. And if people don't engage, if people feel this is a hopeless and helpless issue and there's nothing they can do, then we're not going to affect the change that we need. We need to keep this relevant, keep this personal, and know that we can take actions, no matter how small.
We live in a city that is undergoing slow motion mass murder right here. We have to remind people that trauma left in the wake doesn't end when the TV turns off and the news is over or the blood drives are over. Trauma exists and persists until it is treated and eradicated.
So I'm going to close by telling you this little story. So Dylan, or as my father called him, Mr. D, was autistic and a flapper. And whenever he got excited or happy, which was pretty much all the time, he would jump up and down and flap as fast as he could. And I didn't understand it. And one day I asked him, I said, "Why do you flap?" And I wasn't expecting him to answer, but he did. He said, "Because I am a beautiful butterfly." And for me, he was. Now, it's been said that a butterfly flapping its wings can cause a hurricane halfway around the world. Now, if one butterfly can cause a hurricane, if all of you choose to flap your wings, we can do more than cause a hurricane. We can change our country.